My fellow hunters, you know what it's time for.
Quite interesting.
Oh yes, it's time to talk talismans, and you know what?
Quite interesting.
They are interesting. Oh yes, they are. What were charms in World and Iceborne and very much craftable are now back to being talismans and very much RNG-able. But unlike in past games where you would go on a hunt and as part of the reward you would get given mystery talismans to reveal and you would pray! You would pray and look to the sky and hope that Lord Gog himself blesses you! And ultimately, he essentially never would, but you would still hope. Now that hope is still there, but it doesn't come from hunts, at least not directly. It comes from our friendly merchant, Mr. Kagero, our Wyverian, and of course the hub merchant too. So, how does this system work? What's the point of it, and why should you do it? Well, I mean, you should do it because this is endgame in Rise, at least as it currently stands. Farming and farming and farming until you, by sheer chance, get that perfect talisman to empower your build to the next level.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Like in World and Iceborne, how you spent your time farming decorations, hoping you'd get that attack, or double attack, or that crit boost with health, which would just let you use the right pieces of armor in the right combination to achieve maximum power! Now we're back to hoping that you get the perfect talisman to unlock your set's true potential. And off the bat, this is much better. I mean, just numerically it is. It is much nicer to wait for the tiny chance that the ideal talisman will happen to drop for you than it is to hope that you will get about 15 of the perfect decorations to fill all your slots. Coupled with the armor and some kind of the basic talismans you can expect to get, you can off the bat make an incredibly powerful endgame build that can only get a bit stronger. But we're hunters. We want that bit stronger. We need it. We crave it. We loves it. We live for it. We dream about it. It's everything. So, first things first, unlocking access to talismans. That requires you to get to HR 3, complete the Magna Marlowe Urgent, and then you will have it. But this only unlocks the first way to meld, the Pool of Mystery. And this lets you choose from a selection of pretty bad skills, and then hope that you get a talisman in that skill. In order to actually get the talismans, the process is fairly straightforward. You put in monster materials to equal the point total it requires, and then you ask it to meld. You go on a hunt, you come back, and then you see what that talisman actually turned into. And that's the process. Repeat ad infinitum. And trust me, you will be repeating this infinitely. The range of talismans is insane. And just so happens that talismans are the only way to get access to certain skills outside of, the armor pieces that have them. So what do I mean? Well, decorations are craftable now, which is wonderful. But there isn't a weakness exploit decoration, to use that as an example. Well, that means then that you have to wear either Zinogre armor or get lucky with a talisman that has weakness exploit on. This applies to crit boost, this applies to handicraft, valuable skills. So they really are going to be key to unlocking the true upper echelons of player power in Rise, but the chances of getting them is tiny. However, before we go over what charms you can get and how, let's look at the other four methods. As you progress through the game, you will find yourself able to meld better and better talismans in more efficient manner. There is Melding Haze. This then is another selection of skills, so you can at least choose to aim your RNG. And at this point, I should explain how this aiming RNG works. So, as it says, the rate of earning the skill. If we look at recovery, for example, it's a 50% chance. So that essentially just means that when you reveal the talismans melded via this method, there will be a 50% chance that on each, at least one of the skills is at least one rank of recovery up. Getting more ranks than one, what the second skill might or might not be, the slots, all of that is still up in the air. Then we have Melding Moonbow, and this is the juice. This is where Weakness Exploit and Critical Eye are. Very, very important skills. Now, the best you can do with Weakness Exploit is give yourself a plus 10% chance to actually get a talisman with it. You're still hoping that the rest of the talisman is good, on top of having at least that one rank of Weakness Exploit. This one you might well be doing a lot, as getting a good Weakness Exploit talisman is going to be key to a lot of sets. Then we have the one you will be doing the most of, the Wisp of Mystery. This is pure random. You don't choose a skill, you simply put in 750 points worth of monster materials, which then results in 5 completely random talismans, and 5 is the highest you can get. Moonbow is 3 and the other 2 are 1, so unless you really want that particular skill, obviously giving yourself 5 chances every meld is the way to go. And at this stage I should say that yes, any monster materials. The true genius of this endless endgame monster hunter grind, of which there always does need to be one, it's really what keeps you going outside of the pure hunting awesome, and this one is a very, very friendly one that really doesn't restrict you even if you don't get lucky, so I'm a big fan of it. But in any case, any monster material works, so as long as you're hunting, you're actually getting talismans. You don't need to just do one specific activity. Now, of course, there are materials that are worth more from harder monsters, and there is a best, fastest way to farm, of which I will make a little bit of a guide on. But in the general sense, no matter what you do, you are getting talismans and the materials for talismans. So while the RNG might be extreme, they are constantly pouring in. So this Wisp of Mystery then, you put in 750 points, and then you get 5 completely random talismans. This is it. This is the one everyone will likely do a billion times. Essentially, once you've got a good enough Weakness Exploit one, you'll be swapping to this. Rebirth, by the way, to quickly touch on it, is just throw away 20 of your trash talismans and hope that they line up for some new good ones. It doesn't matter what rarity of talisman you put in, what you will get out is truly random. So let's talk about that true random then. What can you actually get from talismans? Firstly, it's kinda hard to work this out. The only way to do it is make loads of them and compare what skills happened where and try and work out why. But I have a sort of general rule set for you to follow. So a potential talisman can have 1. Any skill in the game. It can have up to 3 ranks of that skill in the game. It can also have a second skill, but it might not, and that second skill, again, can go up to 3 ranks. It can have slots, it might not have slots, and it can be up to 3 slots. Now, the third slot I have never seen go higher than a 1 slot, the second slot I have never seen go higher than a 2 slot, and the first slot can be a 3 slot. So to me, best talisman would be a 3 slot, 2 slot, 1 slot. That is your ceiling. So if you get that, you are just, well, god of luck. That, or you have bribed the happy face on the melding pot.
Hello!
He's just adorable, he's just adorable, I love him, that's great. So essentially I would wager that the best talisman possible in the game is something along the lines of 3 attack, 3 weakness exploit, 3 slot, 2 slot, 1 slot. That is like your upper miracle, true magic limit of what you can expect to see. 2 useful skills maxed at 3 ranks, if indeed 3 ranks exist for that skill, and a 3 slot, 2 slot, 1 slot. I have gone through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of talismans, compared them all, done a lot of maths on it, and, well, that is kind of where I'm at. But I am sure we will have the full charm tables revealed sooner or later, so here's hoping I'm not too far off, but I would definitely bet that this is how it is, so good luck! But irrelevant of what you can get, one thing is clear. This is the way to get extra incredibly valuable skills that you can't get via decorations, so it is the way to unlock what variety of armor you can wear. it is also the way to reach that final tippy-top optimum power of builds. And the process, essentially, is simple. Walk up to the melder, select your Wisp of Mystery, put in 750 points worth of monster materials, get it melding, go on a hunt. Any kind of hunt will do, except an expedition will not do, and you can't just return from a quest. Then, once you do get back, you will reveal them, bite your nails as you hope and pray that they are what you're after, collect them, be sad for a little bit, and then repeat the process, and 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 repeat the process, until finally Monster Hunter 6 comes out and you give up trying to get that really good talisman you've been after for the last 2 years. I don't think it'll be that bad, and we'll have to remain and see what happens with the Chameleos update when we get a hunter rank unlocked and we get probably more of a robust endgame. But for now, it really is pour spare monster parts into this system and hope you get a talisman that powers up your build in some way. Alrighty, I think that about covers it. Let me know how you feel about this. I honestly feel like it's one of the best RNG endgame systems we've had. I really don't think there's much to complain about. It might take a while to get what you need, but you don't need to get what you need, and you don't need it less than you have ever not needed it in any Monster Hunter game, and I suppose that's the essence. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.